Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Green and College Football Week 5. Let's go, Ace.
Bam. All right, boys and girls, College Football Week 5, Cinco. Cannot wait. Big Reed, it's going to be a juicy weekend. Before we get into the episode, everybody make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit that like button. Let's get 500 plus likes this week. Comment. We read all the comments. Love the comments. Best part of the engagement with our community.
And make sure to get your merch and join the membership as well.
Join that membership. All right, boys and girls, let's get into a recap of last week. Big Re, we went 3-3. Whenever you can go 3-3, and that's a bad week, you're doing pretty good. So
yeah,
3-3. It was just a funny weekend. Honestly, funny slate of games last week in general. A lot of games. The lines dropped at least 2 points.
Yeah.
At least 2 points, and I just want to give a disclaimer right now. In college football, even in the NFL, when the line drops 2 points or more, you should automatically question the line. You don't have to message us or text us. There's a lot of chance that we'll like it, but when it goes down 2 points or more, that original thought is done. At least in my opinion. I don't know about you, Big Ree.
Yeah.
So you have to follow, the lines. Unfortunately, we do record normally on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so we drop our videos on Wednesday. So, it's tough. But, yeah, line change movement is a big deal. And so just pay attention to that. So we had a lot of games last week where the line changed a lot. And so you got to pay attention to that. But let's get into a recap, Big Ree. What a game, Illinois and Nebraska. On Friday night, Illinois won 31-24. That was a great game to watch.
Sure. I watched it the whole second half.
Great game. Nebraska blew that game.
For sure they did, 100%.
And I wish they would have won that game and went 4-0, but their program looks good, the team looks good, but they blew that game.
Yeah.
Texas 51-3 over University of Louisiana Monroe. Nothing to say. Arch Manning looked pretty decent, but once again, not a high level opponent that we're going to give too much value to. Ohio State 49-14 versus Marshall. Nothing to say. Ole Miss 52-13 Georgia Southern. Tennessee 25-15 over Oklahoma. Big Ree, anything to say on this game?
Interesting one. I think I expected Tennessee to win here. Even though it was at Oklahoma, I think Tennessee is just a better team here. I'm
surprised that Tennessee is starting to get into that second tier. I wouldn't say they're a tier 1 program, but that second tier of within the Ole Misses and and they're in that tier, and they're looking interesting.
Right. Yeah.
They're putting up points, obviously on the road. To get 25 points on the road against Oklahoma, I think that's a pretty good win. Missouri 30-27 snuck out that win.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Snuck out that game. Vanderbilt missed the field goal at the end to tie it up, but that was a good game. That was honestly one of the picks that I regret throwing out there because, I like the Vandy line there, but congrats to Missouri, undefeated 4-0. Miami 50-15 over South Florida.
Yeah, not much to say there.
Not much to say. Penn State won big. Not much to say there either. But let's get to one of the games of the week. Michigan versus USC. Michigan 27-24 win versus USC. Big Ree. They snuck it out at the end with a late game touchdown. What was your thought on this game?
Yeah, Michigan had control the whole way, then USC took over and USC blew it. That's just a quick way to explain it.
Yeah, Michigan was up 14-0. They looked good, and looked like they were just going to control the game in Ann Arbor. Then USC came back, took over, took the lead, and then Michigan closed it out. The big stat here is the Michigan QB at 32 total yards of passing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
32 total yards of passing. That's unbelievable. 7 for 12 for 32 yards. They had 290 yards on the ground. And even on that last big run at the end when they got set them up, I mean, the guy almost missed 2 tackles. USC missed 2 straight tackles. So, look, this would have been a great win for USC to stay undefeated, but they blew this game.
For sure.
Absolutely blew it. Congrats to Michigan to bounce back after that, big loss that they had the week before, and they got a win, and they got embarrassed by Texas, and then they get a win by USC. But I don't know. I mean, your QB has 32 yards. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Utah beat Oklahoma State 22-19.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great game. I mean, I think Utah is just a better team at the end of the day.
You think they're a better team? I don't know. I mean, they did win here, but yeah, they might be a better team. But both of these guys, both of these schools suck. I mean, I think I saw an Instagram post that both of these quarterbacks are 24 plus, both of them, and there's 2 starting quarterbacks. I think that are in the NFL that are 22 years old.
Probably Jaden.
I think it was C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And Caleb or something. And it's just.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, you've heard me rant all season long that this is just completely silly that we got kids that are 24, and I won't even call them kids anymore. You got students that are 24, 25 years old playing in college for their 6th and 7th year against 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. There's something that's got to happen here. I mean, what do you think, Big Ree?
I have no comment on this. I mean, I think college is just they're a mess. They can't ever get it right. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the college football is just completely gone downhill over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And something has got to happen. Obviously, all the NIL money is changing the whole landscape. Transfer portal. There's a lot of factors that are impacting college football, but the quality of the college football game, I think, has completely gone downhill.
Yeah.
Is what it is. BYU 38-9 versus Kansas State.
Yeah, I mean.
What happened there?
I don't know. I actually took BYU plus 7.5 pregame. It was the only game I actually bet. I took that late night. It was on vacation, so that was the one I only actually got in, and it was just. I just shut it off in the 4th. I was like, this is over.
So you had BYU
plus 7, yeah, 7.5.
So that was just a
it was
smooth
6-0 at one point.
Yeah,
Kansas
early
State.
on it was.
And it was like plus 10.5 live, and then just like I got back to my hotel. I was like, what the hell? It's 21-6.
Yeah, I mean they just looked horrible. Kansas State. I mean, this is a road game, right? Just a funny game. This is college. They're all students, so sometimes these funny games happen. LSU 34-17 versus UCLA. This is my lock of the week, and LSU they were minus 24. I had them at. They dropped down to minus 21 before game time, and they put up points, but they let UCLA put up too much points. I mean, how does UCLA put up 17 points?
Yeah,
in Baton Rouge.
It was 17.5, and it shows right here they pretty much outscored them 17-0 in the second half.
Yeah, but the bad first half, and I mean this should have been an easy one with the line dropping. But I know LSU had some injuries up front on the defense. A few players didn't play, but no excuses. LSU still should have covered here. Notre Dame 28-3 versus Miami of Ohio. Not much to say. Louisville 31-19 Georgia Tech. Nothing really to say. Clemson 59-35. Clemson has been on a tear the last 2 weeks. Ever since I talked trash about them, they've put up some major points against Appalachian State and then NC State. 2, not great schools, but for Clemson to put up that kind of points, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see if it continues, but they've definitely answered the bell. Buffalo, not much to say there, and not much. Texas A&M beat Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about.
What about James Madison over UNC?
Glad Drew brought that up, Big Reed. James Madison, I think they put up 53 points in the first half. 53 points in the first half versus UNC. James Madison, and you actually brought them up, I think, a week or two ago, where like they're a high-powered offense. Don't underestimate James Madison, up-and-coming program. And they put a 70 burger on UNC. 70. The coach was even saying he was potentially thinking about resigning after that, Mac Brown. What do you think? What's your
I don't know.
thoughts?
I was just like questioning it, and then like I saw fans leaving. I was like, oh man, the students are leaving. That's an embarrassment to UNC. Mac Brown should resign. It's for his own good.
Complete embarrassment. You let James Madison put up 53 points at the half.
Yeah.
At the half, Big Ree. That's just unreal. It is unreal. 70 burger by
Right.
James Madison. 3 seasons ago, nobody even knew who James Madison
Yeah,
was.
for sure.
And so, congrats to James Madison. Shout out James Madison. All right, Big Ree, let's get into the $100 trivia of the week. You are 3-1 on the season, Big Ree.
Okay.
And so we're going to get the trivia going, Javi. Let's get the timer ready. We're going to give you 45 seconds on the clock. And I want all the DGF community and viewers watching. You guys should play along too if you're able to, answer this trivia as well. Test your own knowledge. Do not look at your phones or the internet. Just play honestly. We have the honest policy here, and see if you can get it within 45 seconds, okay? Are you ready, Big Ree? Since 2009, okay, there have been 6 teams, 6, not 16, 6 teams that have won the national championship in college football other than Alabama, okay, 6 teams. All you need to do is name 5 out of the 6, okay? 5 out of the 6 teams. On your marks, get set, go.
Georgia.
Okay.
Clemson.
Yep.
Ohio State.
Yep.
Oh, let's see. Michigan. Michigan won it, right?
Okay, but the kid, 6 out of 7, so that's right, Michigan. Yeah, there's 7 teams. I made a mistake. There's 7 teams. Okay, so you got
let's
it.
See who else? Clemson.
You,
Florida.
Florida, nope.
Let's see. Florida State, no. James.
You're missing 3, so you just have to get 2. How much time we got, Javi? 10,
I think I'm done here.
9, slow, 8, 7.
Yeah, I'm done.
Come on, 6,
No, I can't get it.
5, 4.
No.
Waving the white flag. 3,
Yeah, waving the white flag.
2, 1. Come on, Big Ree. You named Michigan.
Yeah.
You named Georgia. You named Clemson. You named Ohio State. So you got 4.
Yeah.
LSU,
Oh yeah, I should have got
2019. That's 5. You want to throw it out? You already lost, but do you want to throw it out? Florida State in 2013.
I was gonna say
You
Florida.
said Florida State. You're like, no. Then you're like, okay. And then the last one in 2010, Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn. Yeah.
Okay, so you are 3-2, Bigger. You're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And you're close though. You're close. I want anybody to comment below if you actually got it. Honestly, on the honest policy, if you got the 6 out of the 7 teams within 45 seconds. All right, Big Ree. Let's get into the best segment of the show, boys and girls, the BS segment. And you know where we're starting off, Big Ree, with the BS segment of the show. You were out of town last week, Big Ree. You were in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the entire weekend. You got in when? When did you get in?
Friday night.
Friday night, and you were there till Monday?
Yeah, Monday evening.
Okay, so tell us about good old Albuquerque.
It's a good place to visit. Really, not really much to do. There's pretty much no skyline. Stayed in the second tallest hotel.
So there's no skyline in
Very low. Like
little. Okay, how many floors was your hotel?
20.
20. So that's the second tallest
Yeah.
hotel in Albuquerque. Okay, were you like in a downtown area of
Yeah,
Albuquerque?
downtown. It's a very small area. You can just
Like,
get
what would you make it comparable to?
Not even something, I don't know.
Like, would you make it even comparable to like Pasadena, California, or no?
Area, like driving wise, yeah, like everything was like 3-4 miles away, maybe 5, 6
Okay.
sometimes.
How was the landscape of Albuquerque?
A lot different, just kind of reminded me of San Fernando.
Interesting. Okay. That actually gets me excited. Like, I want to go to Albuquerque. Okay, I've not driven through, but interesting. So it reminds you of the city of San Fernando, California.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the main reason you went there,
Breaking Bad tour.
the
boy.
Breaking Bad tour.
And girls.
So tell us about the tour first of all. How long was the tour?
About 3 hours.
3 hours, and was this a private tour? Was
Private
it how
tour, I
many
had
how
to
many
pay for
people?
it. There was like 12 people on the tour.
So did you guys go on a bus? You drove?
Yeah, bus.
There was a bus, 12 of you guys. What was the admission roughly on the tour?
About 95.
Okay, it's about $100
100 came out.
roughly. So tell us about the tour
Went to all the places, the main places, you know.
of the show, the Breaking Bad show.
Yeah.
What was the number one place that you enjoyed going on the tour? Word like number one.
Probably Los Pollos Hermanos.
Los Pollos Hermanos. Where was that? Gustavo, right?
Yeah, Gustavo.
Gustavo's spot. So you guys like that? So is it just kind of like a museum now, or is
No,
it
it's an actual restaurant. Like our tour guide told us an interesting thing. They wanted to name it that,
what?
Los
Name it.
Pollos Hermanos, but the Sony Pictures did not let them.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted to open up the same exact thing, the owner, and they didn't let them.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks. That would have been cool. I'm curious why they didn't want to let them do it.
Yeah, it's probably money.
Interesting, yeah. Most of the time it goes down to money. But it was actually a different restaurant
Yeah,
there.
it's called Twisters.
What do they serve there?
Like Mexican food.
Did you guys eat there?
Yeah, we had a breakfast burrito.
Okay, so you're good. So you sat in one of those booths,
Yeah.
and you were able to. You definitely got to get
Yeah,
something
for
there.
sure.
Okay, so where else did you visit on the tour?
The laundromat, that was the last place.
Okay, the laundromat where
Yeah.
they had the underground
Yeah.
situation. What is that building right now?
I don't know what it was, but it's not a laundromat anymore.
Can you kind of tell like this is the place?
Yeah, this is the place. Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, where else?
Jesse's house.
Jesse Pinkman's house?
Yeah.
Oh, you went over there?
Yeah, it took us to the main places.
Nice. Okay.
Walter's house.
Walter White's house?
Yeah.
Do all these houses did it look the same? Everything looks the
Yeah,
same?
most of them. Walter's house has a fence now because everyone knows about it, and it's a big thing for them.
Like a see-through fence?
Yeah,
Or
you
like,
can see through. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So that's a tourist attraction,
Yeah, for
basically.
sure.
Where else did you guys go? Jesse's house, Walter's house, the laundromat. Did you go to Saul Goodman's office?
Yeah, but we did that separately.
Oh, that's a separate.
We went there separate by ourselves.
You guys just found out where it
Yeah,
was. Okay.
For sure.
Where else did you go on the tour?
Where he gets shot and Cosmo combos in the scene.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, went to all the places. I can't remember off the top of my head. There were like 25 stops.
Nice. 25 stops?
Yeah.
And then they just start pointing out this is
Yeah.
where this is.
Right.
Did you guys go to the courthouse?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Okay. So overall, did you enjoy the trip?
Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean the tour. You enjoyed the
tour. He would just stop at places and not let us get out and take pictures. I would recommend that, letting people take
That's
pictures.
that's kind of a doozy, but
I would have to take it from the bus. So.
Got it.
kinda
But I guess that's a problem. But I guess if you start stopping at every place, it's gonna be a 3-hour tour is turning into 6 hours, and they can only do one tour a day. Are they doing multiple tours?
I think he only does one. It's his own guy, and he told us a random fact. It was originally supposed to be filmed here in Southern California, in Riverside, California.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I could see that. But then they just moved it to...
In New Mexico, they thought about, and then New Mexico gave them an offer that we'll give you 30% back of what they make.
Ooh. So they got a lot back then.
Yeah, and that was the
Wow.
deal breaker. So.
Nice. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about Albuquerque. What did you guys do in Albuquerque? Where did you eat? How was the food?
The food's good. And every place has New Mexican food. Not Mexican food. New Mexican food.
Everything is New Mexican? But is it like Mexican food or is it different?
Yeah, it's like Mexican food.
But they call it New Mexican.
because they're known for one thing.
What are they known for?
Do you know?
I don't know what the hell they're known for.
Red and green chilies.
Red and green chilies?
Yeah.
Meaning like the sauce?
No,
Or the chilies?
like the chili, the action, and they make.
And
the
then they
sauce.
use that in a lot of the
Yeah,
dishes.
for
Okay.
sure.
Did it taste different than the chilies we're used to?
Not really, but it's all made there, local.
Interesting. Okay. So what was your number one breakfast spot that you guys went to? You guys had a couple of breakfasts.
Oh, we went to El Moreno. It's in Better Call Saul.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we went there. Our tour guide recommended it. It was a pretty good breakfast burrito.
Okay.
Definitely in the ghetto. It's a little different now from the scene. You can't enter from the front where I forgot the old guy's name. He enters.
Okay, got it. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And then where Tuco is parked in the front too. We went there.
Oh, really?
Did all that.
Nice. What about otherwise? Any desserts? Any ice cream? Any dinner places? I mean, what'd you guys eat? You gotta give me
had
the
a couple of chatas. They were pretty damn good.
Woo-hoo!
I had a chata at El Moreno was good.
Horchata over there. Okay.
I had to get it, and then I went to Mexico. And on the last day, I had a horchata and a churro. And
I was just about to ask you. Did you have a churro?
I was looking up places, and then I couldn't find anything. I got a horchata, and this place had a churro. I was like, I'm just gonna get it.
You gotta get it. And how was the
It
churro?
was pretty damn good. Z-Ball can answer too.
Okay. So you guys got it. You guys
Yeah.
got a churro. What about dinner? You gotta give us a little bit about dinner, bro. You were there 3 nights.
We went to dinner first night at a tourist attraction. It was pretty good.
Okay.
In downtown. And then second night, I forgot. I think we went. I forgot where we went. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. But anything like any advice for anybody that's thinking about going to Albuquerque, New Mexico?
Make sure to plan your trip and also visit Santa Fe. I went to Santa Fe as well.
How far is that from?
It's about an hour drive.
So you guys drove out there.
Yeah.
You guys had a rental.
Yeah.
Nice. Is the landscape in Albuquerque like similar to like Arizona, Vegas, kind of?
Yeah, probably. I'd say Arizona more.
Okay.
Yeah, Arizona, Vegas, yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right, Big Ree. So you're back from New Mexico next week. Me and Javi taking a trip down to Las Vegas, Nevada. And so, more to come next week, boys and girls, on the episode. So we'll discuss a little bit more. Hopefully, we got some of the DGF fam that'll be in Vegas on that weekend. That will be October 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, that weekend. So hopefully we get some DGF members that are in town, and we'll be there, and we'll try to, meet up have a little watch one of the college, or probably one of the college games on Saturday. That will be October 5th. So comment below if you plan to be out in Vegas or you're from Vegas on October 5th weekend, and we'll discuss a little bit more about that. Yeah, Big Ree, what else? Let's get into some, the BS segment of the show. Big Ree, I got a story for you.
Okay.
A quick story. So, I'm at the gym, LA Fitness.
Okay.
LA Fitness, you ever go to LA Fitness?
I just came from there right now.
Oh, you just got a workout in right now? Damn, and you got all this energy after a workout?
Yeah.
Damn, Big Ree. Okay. So I was at LA Fitness, and this is in the morning. I actually went at I got there maybe 6:50 in the morning, and just getting a workout in. So then at one point I'm on the treadmill.
Okay.
Okay. And just doing what do they call interval on the interval, a couple minutes running, couple minutes walking, and anyhow that doesn't matter to the point. I'm on the treadmill, and there's a big row of treadmills, probably freaking 12 of them. And then in front of me one way, so I can easily see who's in front of me. So there's this one guy on the treadmill. The dude is probably 60 to 65 years old.
Okay.
60 to 70.
Okay.
Probably an older gentleman. And this guy's on the treadmill walking, and on all the treadmills there's screens.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so they all have screens on there. And this dude is on the treadmill. He's actually older, so he's holding on to the thing as he's walking. But he's going at a pretty good pace. It's not like this guy's, He's probably going at like a 2.5, 3 pace. So he's going solid pace. And he's very close up watching the screen, right? Real quickly, what is he watching? If you could, I'll give you 3 guesses. What is the old man 60-7? Very interested, very focused on
Something
the
about the
screen.
news regarding Trump or Kamala Harris.
No. Any more guesses? You're kind of close, but you're it's not what it is.
Kind of close. I don't know. That's all I can. So it's not no sports related.
I'm not gonna give you any clue. You got if you want to throw anything out there, I'll tell you what he's watching.
About Aaron Rodgers? No, it can't be. This is a college.
No.
I don't know. Go ahead.
So he's so close up to the screen, man. Up to the screen watching. I'm like, dude, this guy's like, like when people are on the they're on the treadmill, they're just on the treadmill at a normal pace, but this guy's like leaned in like this. So I'm like, yeah, this guy's really focused, trying to see what he's watching. My man is watching the news and watching the weather segment, and the presenter of the news, okay, is very tuned in on the female presenting the news.
Okay.
And I'm sure if you watch some news sportscast, if you watch some weather forecast, sometimes, when you're watching the news weather, you're not always paying attention to if it's going to be sunny or rainy the next day. You know what I mean? And so my man was focused, and I guess that gave him an extra mojo when he's on the treadmill.
Right.
So that was interesting. Let's get into the question of the day, Big Ree. Question of the day. And I want all the viewers to comment below because we have a wide variety of community on here watching, and a lot of people that have traveled all over the U.S. What, in your experience that you've traveled to, what is your favorite city and state and city and state that you've traveled to, and worst city and state that you've traveled to?
Okay. So worst.
And if you don't want to say the worst,
I'm gonna go with worst.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm a Packer fan. I want to mention that.
Okay.
Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Wisconsin overall. Just a POS. If you don't know what POS stands for, go look it up. I went in November. It was cold. Absolutely nothing to do. If I'm wrong, Wisconsin people, help me out. But yeah, I'd say that's definitely up there in the worst city and state.
Okay.
Okay. And
so Wisconsin, okay. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all right.
The best, I don't know, city and state.
And it can't be LA or Cali because you're from there. Outside of California.
I'd either go Chicago or New York. It's like tied.
Okay.
I'd give Chicago the edge because it's a little more cleaner. Even though I think me and you went together. I think it was like 2016.
we took a trip to Chicago. So you'd go with Chicago.
Yeah, and people are gonna hate me about this because Chicago and Milwaukee are very close, and I actually flew into Chicago. And if you don't know it, Packers and Bears are rivals. So, but yeah, Chicago's just much more diverse, a lot more to do.
Got it. Of course. Then I mean, Wisconsin. I've actually been to Wisconsin once. I've been to Madison, Wisconsin. Shout out to DK, my boy DK. This was back a while ago. He was actually attended the University of Wisconsin, and so I went out there and spent a couple days out there. I actually flew into Chicago on that trip.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And we spent, I think, a night in Chicago, and then we drove from Chicago back to Madison.
Yeah, it's not that long of a drive.
And it was it was a good time. I mean, we didn't really get outside of Madison, the university area, which I don't think we needed to, but it was snowing. That was kind of cool. We had one night it snowed, one day it snowed a little bit, but it was cool. I'm not in a hurry to go back there, but it was not that bad, but it seems like it's on your list of being bad. Yeah, I mean, I would say I probably would start with number one, that what I like the most. I mean, that's tough. I would say Wow. I mean, I think New York has got to be up there for me. I think New York is up there. And I've traveled a lot across the U.S. I would say New York. I mean, Chicago is nice. It's definitely nicer, but I think there's a lot more to do in New York
There is, for sure. I can agree on that.
compared to Chicago. Obviously, Vegas has a special place in my heart, so I love Las Vegas. Yeah, I would have to go with New York. The least favorite place?
You've been all over, so you.
I've been to a lot of places. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Big Ree. Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would have to say maybe Pittsburgh.
Pitt's gonna bring the heat.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, maybe.
Okay.
And that's over the state of Ohio because
Yeah.
I've been to Ohio. I would say Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys and girls. I would say Pittsburgh, but not the state of Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is
Philadelphia
legit.
is legit. for
But
sure.
I would say Pittsburgh. And quickly, on that note, couple things. When I brought up if anybody gets BK right,
Yeah.
was that in our college video or was that
That
in
was
our
college.
NFL?
I have a shout out to who got it right.
Okay, so we're going to get into that. We'll get into that in the shout-outs. And then one last thing. 2 weeks ago, we had a question of the day about the episodes on what's a good series to watch. And I didn't throw in for everybody old school series related to drugs, etc. If you're from LA, you're definitely going to love it. The Shield. If you have not watched The Shield with Vic Mackey, highly recommend The Shield.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. I think there's 7 or 8 seasons. The Shield is legit. If you didn't watch it, I highly recommend The Shield. All right, Big Ree, let's get into some shout-outs.
Shout out to the Don.
The Don. Okay, shout out to Big Len. What's up, Big Len?
Shout out to Raymond Aria. Said, I love this show and always look forward to watching the show. Appreciate it, man.
All right, shout out to Wes McCleskey. Said, I'm glad I found your channel. Thanks, Wes.
Shout out to Stantino, your boy.
Stantino129. Stantino legitimately has been with us since day one.
Yeah.
Legitimately. And, you know, big shout out to NY. And so we appreciate it, brother. I'll let you take the
Shout
next.
out to Roosevelt Wilson from New Orleans. Requested a shout out. Here you go.
New Orleans. I love New Orleans.
Good
I
old
still
man.
remember when I was in New Orleans. Got in there early on. Went straight to that beignets and coffee.
Yeah.
And just sat there, nothing, just like, I can't wait till I get back to New Orleans. But where's the other place that I still have not got out to?
Oh,
In,
Seaball was asking me
In
about
Baby Vegas.
Yeah.
Biloxi.
Yeah,
Biloxi.
Seaball was asking me.
What was he
He
saying?
said, when are you guys going to Biloxi?
Got a lot of trips, boys and girls, on the docket. So you don't want to make any promises, but hopefully soon. But when we do, I'll put it this way: whenever I'm making a trip, boys and girls, in the 50 states, I'll let you guys know. And so anybody that's there, we can come and watch a game and meet and greet all day long. So definitely have a meetup. All right, shout out to Robert Samuel Jr. And he's been saying he's been trying to figure out the BK the whole video. We'll get into the BK at the end when we give a congrats.
Shout out to Dave Burkett.
All right, shout out to Ant150 from NYC.
I'll let you take the last one since it is.
No, I'll let you.
It's your
Okay, all right. Okay, so last week I said anybody that can get what BK stands for, comment below. You got some merch coming or some Venmo cash from Ace. Not from the show. Ace going to drop it directly. And so, first of all, Cali Climate 818 got the BK correct. And so shout out to Cali Climate 818. And the correct meaning of BK, shout out to Double A, who actually brought this up. One of our boys, Double A, He's the one that's going to, at least in my eyes, take credit for the meaning of BK. BK stands for, the B stands for B-O-N-E-R. So if you want to spell that out, B-O-N-E-R, that stands for boner killer. So BK stands for a boner killer, and basically he just dropped that when he was looking forward to some news. And then actually the real story goes that Javi dropped some real insight to AA, and AA automatically said that was a BK. And we didn't know what the BK was. Then he explained it, and that has lived on. So that term BK. But I want to give a shout out, and I don't have, do you have their name right now? That who actually said B-O-N-E,
No, I
bone
was going to
killer.
put them on. I think it was Dave.
I don't know if it was Dave, but somebody, and I commented below, that they said bone killer.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm giving you credit too. You're getting some merch. You got to reply back to your comment and hit us with your email or your IG, or hit us on IG. You're getting some Venmo cash or some merch also, because I'm giving you credit. I think the dude knew what it was. He didn't want to put the R on the bone. But so I'm giving him credit. He gets credit as well. So we got 2 winners this week on the BK. So congrats. I didn't think anybody was gonna get it, Big Reed, but 2 people got it. So BK officially stands for boner killer. And let's get into the picks, Big Reed. Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos. Chicos y chicas, let's go. We're coming off a 3-3 week. Game 1, we got Wisconsin at USC. Big guy, Big Reed, what a coincidence that Wisconsin is your least favorite state, and Wisconsin at USC. USC is a 16-point favorite. Wisconsin 2-1, coming off a 42-10 loss to Alabama. In that game, they lost quarterback Van Dyke, the transfer, and the new quarterback is Braden Locke. He played okay in that game. He played okay. They do have a good run game. I think Wisconsin's run game is pretty solid. But that was a really bad loss at home to Alabama. They got spanked 42-10. Their defense is actually better than what they put up at home against Alabama. USC is 2-1. They're coming off a 27-24 loss to Michigan. That was a great game. They gave up a touchdown in the last minute, I think, with 38 seconds left to Michigan off of a 60-yard run to set that up, that touchdown. Quarterback Miller Moss, 65% completion, 890 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception on the season. Running back Woody Marks is looking pretty good for USC. And here's my thought. USC's defense is still very questionable. They gave up 290 yards on 6.3 yards per carry. And that's given that they knew Michigan wasn't throwing the ball. So they could not stop the run at all. I don't trust their defense. I think Wisconsin is going to bleed clock here. They're going to run too. And I'm taking Wisconsin here on the road. I'm taking Wisconsin plus 16. All right, game 2. We got the game of the week, Big Reed, the Georgia Bulldogs at Alabama. Georgia is a 2.5-point favorite. Georgia 3-0, coming off a 13-12 win versus Kentucky. That was prior to the bye week. They did not look good in that game, but they did squeak it out. Running back Etienne is back, and it looks like he's playing better and better week in and week out. And so I like him to have a good game here. They did beat Clemson 34-3 in week 1. So Georgia, they're on the road here though. They're on the road at Alabama. Alabama coming off a 42-10 win versus Wisco. They looked really good against Wisconsin, but the week before they looked, decent in the second half versus South Florida, but they didn't look that great in the first half. Week 1, they beat Western Kentucky 63-0. Quarterback Milroy, 67% completion, 590 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 156 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns on the ground. And Alabama is at home. I think it's going to be a good game, but I just think Georgia is the better team. They've been waiting for this game, waiting since last season in the conference championship game. And I think this is an easy one. And I'm taking Georgia minus 2.5. All right, game 3. We got Arizona at Utah. Utah 11.5 point favorite. Arizona 2-1. Coming off a 31-7 loss to Kansas State prior to the bye week. This was a Friday night game, and this was on the road. Quarterback Noah Fafita has had a slow start after being on fire last year to end the season. Slow start. They beat Utah 42-18 last season. They do have the stud wide receiver McMillan, and he's playing great. We got Utah, who's 4-0. They're coming off a 22-19 win versus Oklahoma State. 4-0, but have not played great against Baylor and Oklahoma State. Like, they've won, but they haven't played great. They've had 2 wins versus Southern Utah and Utah State, Big Ree. So I don't put a lot of value on those 2 wins. Arizona's defense is questionable, but Utah's offense is very questionable. Right? And so I think Arizona is going to put up points. I think they could have a bounce back game here. Utah, I just don't see Utah beating them by 11.5. And so this is my lock of the week, boys and girls. I'm taking Arizona plus 11.5. All right, Big Ree, let's go.
The first game I got is Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Oklahoma State coming off their first loss to Utah, 22-19, as we talked about, and Kansas State coming off the blowout loss to BYU. If you look at Oklahoma State, only teams they have blown out is Tulsa and South Dakota. They struggled versus Arkansas, took them to overtime. Kansas State did struggle versus Tulane. They blew out Tennessee Martin, and Arizona, and obviously lost to BYU. Kansas State just completely dropped the doozy both sides last week, offensively, defensively. And I like Kansas State to bounce back and win by a touchdown. I like Kansas State. I'm taking Kansas State minus 4.5.
Ooh.
The next game I got is BYU at Baylor. BYU, as I just said, coming off a blowout win versus Kansas State. Kansas State started out 6-0, as I mentioned. The rest was history. Baylor coming off a terrible loss. They gave away the game at the end and then lost in overtime 38-31 to Colorado. Anything to say?
Unbelievable. You called that game. That should have been an easy one. Shedeur Sanders had a Hail Mary at the end. Hail Mary, just complete 50-yard Hail Mary. And then the Kansas State still probably I thought was going to Baylor, I still thought was going to win in overtime, and then they fumbled in the end zone.
Yeah.
They scored the touchdown. They fumbled it. So that's just a horrible bad beat, Big Ree.
Yeah, that was. If you look at both teams, everyone is going to jump on BYU. But the key things about these matchups last week, Baylor was on the road and BYU was at home. Now Baylor's at home and BYU's on the road. BYU is not a good road team. The crowd's not going to be there for them or anything. And I'm taking Baylor minus 3. It's 3.5. We're going to buy half a point, and that's my lock of the week.
Bam.
The last game I got is Louisville at Notre Dame. Louisville 3-0, coming off a 31-19 win versus Georgia Tech. Other wins come versus Austin Peay and Jacksonville State. Notre Dame 3-1, coming off a 28-3 win versus Miami, Ohio. Nothing impressive here. Biggest win was week 1 versus Texas A&M. Louisville quarterback Tyler Show had 2 touchdowns every game besides against Austin Peay where he had 4 touchdowns. Notre Dame is at home. Great offense. Did not play last week at home versus Miami, Ohio, but I think they bounced back, and I'm taking Notre Dame minus 6.
All right, Big Ree. think it should be a good slate of games, especially with that Alabama and Georgia game. Cannot wait for that.
For sure. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment.
Join the membership, boys and girls, and let's have a good weekend.